World Trade Center, WTC, tragedy of September 11, 2001, stands as one of the most devastating events in modern history. It marked a turning point in global politics, security, and the fight against terrorism. The event, often referred to simply as 9/11, saw the coordinated hijacking of 4 commercial airliners by members of the extremist group Al-Qaeda. 2 of the planes crashed into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, leading to their eventual collapse, while a 3rd plane struck the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The 4th plane, United Airlines Flight 93, crashed into a field in Pennsylvania after passengers attempted to regain control. The tragedy claimed nearly 3,000 lives and left an indelible scar on the world. The background: the World Trade Center, an iconic part of the New York skyline, was a symbol of America's economic power. The complex consisted of 7 buildings, with the Twin Towers being its centerpiece. Designed by architect Minoru Yamasaki and officially opened in 1973, the towers stood at 110 stories each and were among the tallest buildings in the world at the time. Their destruction was not just a physical blow but also a symbolic attack on American financial and cultural dominance. The roots of the 9/11 attacks can be traced to Al-Qaeda, a militant Islamist organization led by Osama bin Laden. Motivated by grievances against the United States, including its military presence in the Middle East and support for Israel, Al-Qaeda sought to strike a dramatic blow. In 1998, bin Laden declared a fatwa against the U.S., calling for attacks on its citizens and military interests. This hostility culminated in the meticulous planning of the 9/11 attacks, which were years in the making. The day of the attacks. On the morning of September 11, 2001, 19 terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airliners. American Airlines Flight 11, departing from Boston Logan International Airport, it was the first plane to strike, crashing into the North Tower of the World Trade Center at 8:46 a.m. The impact created a massive explosion, killing hundreds instantly and trapping many above the impact zone. United Airlines Flight 175, this plane, also departing from Boston, struck the South Tower at 9:03 a.m. The collision was televised live, shocking millions around the world. The impact was equally catastrophic, causing widespread destruction. American Airlines Flight 77, departing from Washington Dulles International Airport, it was flown into the Pentagon at 9:37 a.m., causing significant structural damage and killing 184 people. United Airlines Flight 93, departing from Newark International Airport, this flight was intended for a target in Washington, D.C., possibly the White House or the Capitol. However, passengers, aware of the earlier crashes through phone calls, heroically fought the hijackers, leading to the plane crashing in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, at 10:03 a.m. All 44 people aboard were killed. The collapse of the towers. The attacks on the Twin Towers were unprecedented in scale and ferocity. The North Tower, struck first, stood for 102 minutes before collapsing at 10:28 a.m. The South Tower, hit second, fell after only 56 minutes at 9:59 a.m. The collapses released enormous clouds of debris, dust, and smoke, engulfing lower Manhattan. The structural failure was caused by the intense fires ignited by the plane's fuel. These fires weakened the steel framework of the buildings, leading to a progressive collapse. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, later concluded that the design, although strong, could not withstand the extreme conditions of the attack. The immediate aftermath. The destruction caused by the attacks extended far beyond the physical damage. Nearly 3,000 people died, including first responders who rushed to save lives. Thousands more were injured, and countless others suffered from long-term health issues due to exposure to toxic debris. In addition to the human toll, the attacks caused significant economic damage. The stock markets closed for several days, and New York City faced immense challenges in recovery. The attacks also led to increased scrutiny of air travel and the implementation of stricter security measures worldwide. Global impact and the war on terror. The 9/11 attacks had profound global repercussions. The US launched the war on terror, beginning with the invasion of Afghanistan in October 2001 to dismantle Al-Qaeda and remove the Taliban regime that harbored it. The conflict would become America's longest war, lasting until the US withdrawal in August 2021. Domestically, the attacks led to the creation of the Department of Homeland Security and the passage of the USA Patriot Act, which expanded surveillance powers. While aimed at preventing future attacks, these measures sparked debates about civil liberties and privacy. The tragedy also strained international relations, particularly in the Middle East. While many nations supported the US in its fight against terrorism, some criticized its tactics, including the invasion of Iraq in 2003, which was controversially justified by claims of links to terrorism and weapons of mass destruction. Memorials and legacy. The site of the Twin Towers, known as Ground Zero, has been transformed into a memorial and museum. The National September 11 Memorial and Museum honors the victims and documents the events of the day. The new One World Trade Center, completed in 2014, stands as a symbol of resilience and renewal. The legacy of 9/11 is multifaceted. It highlighted vulnerabilities in global security and underscored the devastating impact of terrorism. At the same time, it demonstrated the strength of human compassion and solidarity, as people worldwide came together to support the victims and their families.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.